Do we need to switch?
You're going to need
Let me do my job.
I'm set up for success.
Duh. There we go.
Okay. Thanks everyone for coming. I'm kind of really excited about presenting this talk because it's something I've been planning on doing for a while, even though I just finished it. So it's kind of part of a series that I'm calling Wrestling with Design. We'll get into that, the reason for that a bit in a second. I might try and walk around because it's a bit of a weird setup. So the reason this talk came about was about a year ago. I got asked by Vivid and Remix Summits to go and give a talk about product design, and I talked about, as you can see, a whole bunch of stuff, including who I am. I'm Henry Cho, if you haven't met me, and I said all this stuff, but what got tweeted a lot was this. Oh, usability problems. And it says, bleed on the mat, not on the streets. And that was talking about design thinking. It doesn't seem like it, right? But that was talking about testing. And in martial arts, we say, bleed on the mat, not on the streets, meaning, you know, train properly, get hurt where it's safe before you launch something. So it's pretty obvious that's pretty much in line with user testing, right? Hopefully, stick with me. So it made me think that I'm really old, and I've been doing design. Actually, this is a lie. I worked out it's a lie because I studied architecture when I was 18, and it's not exactly quite true. So, so I've been doing design for 20 years, which is quite a long time, especially for you out there that are 20. But I've been doing this for 20 years as well. So, and that's not just dressing up in a bathrobe, that's doing different sorts of martial arts as part of my life. And it made me think, is there a perspective that I can bring to this community that joins those things? And you know, my friend Nate Gomez is here, and he would agree that his training is part of his life and impacts everything he does as well. I hope he would agree. So that made me think, well, what's something wacky I can do? So the question I posed was, what can Bruce Lee and the UFC teach us about design? And I thought about that, and I thought that's a great title. It kind of rhymes. That's cool. That's going to get people thinking, I wonder what the hell he's talking about. Or they might just think, what the hell are you talking about? Stop talking riddles. The pizza's over. I want to know something. So I thought, okay, you know, people like a story. I'll tell them a story. But I thought, you guys are probably pretty impatient. So this story may not fly with you. And you might be thinking, what the hell am I doing here? So I thought, okay, I better give you something. So what I'm going to give you is a philosophy that I used at CBA to build the mobile design team, which is a very young team. Over 50% of the team has under 2 years UX experience. And I think we've won over 20 awards now. So that's a very young team. It's a very interesting experiment that we ran. Because of the work that I'd done with GA previously, I had sort of good access to some of the star students there, and they've continued to be a good source for us. But I'm going to give you the philosophy that I use to create a sustainable team. So not one that just does something really well and then we burn everyone out, but one that we can keep going and one that outperforms senior teams. For those of you who are junior thinking, great, but I don't run a team, yes you do. You get to make what you want, right? So this is going to be just as important for you as any of the seniors, and this is going to be challenging all the way around. So if you're a junior, you're just starting and you're thinking, time for me to go to sleep now, stay tuned. And what you can take if you want, 3 ways to improve yourselves in your practice right now. But that's really going to be up to you. And I'm toying in my head after the mentoring comment earlier about really throwing down quite a nasty challenge to both the seniors and juniors in the room. So be aware. So what I'm going to talk about, I am going to tell you a story, so suck it. I'm going to talk about how a Brazilian family changed the martial arts world forever and how they did it using design thinking and lean techniques. Not just lean UX techniques, but lean techniques. And I'm going to talk about what were they thinking, feeling, and doing differently. Because we're UX designers, we like to get inside people's heads. Let's do a bit of analytics there and see what that does for us. And I can tell you what happens in the end, just, you know, because I know that you have a short attention span. There are no magic techniques. There's no silver bullet. Just a simple philosophy, and there's going to be a challenge for you, like I said. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's start here. Hands up anyone who knows actually what the UFC is. About 7. Oh, okay. A reasonable amount of people. Hands up anyone who actually trains. Okay. 4. Good. A lower percentage. Good stuff. Okay. So it was the 90s, as you can probably tell by the hair. And we were all doing martial arts then. No one really talked to each other, but my style was better than your style. And that was basically it, whether it was karate, kung fu, judo, whatever. It didn't matter, you know, we were the best. But we didn't really have any way of proving that because competitions were only amongst ourselves. So we could be the best kickboxer, JCVD, but we're not going to know if I can beat a judo player. Until this happened. This kind of freaked out the whole martial arts world. A challenge was set, a tournament. You had to beat 3 people in a night, no rules, no size limits, weight classes, and no time limits. And everyone got quite excited about that because that was going to give us some feedback. That was going to tell us something, and we'd lacked any evidence at this stage. And what happened was we started seeing stuff like this, and as traditional martial artists, we were like, we don't even know what the hell we're looking at here. And for you guys that don't train at all, you're probably like, does he have a trunk? What is that? You know, and who's winning? Right, so this is how we all viewed it when it first happened. We don't know what's happening at all. It's blowing our minds, but it happened consistently. That a little Brazilian fella, he's 6 foot, but he's littler, called Royce Gracie, consistently won this challenge time after time, even though everyone knew exactly what he was going to do, couldn't stop him. So just before and I also love the big hair here, I'll give you a little bit of context here because it's kind of important. This guy wishes he was Magnum. That's Horian Gracie. He put the whole thing together. So, you know, we've got dribs and drabs of information. Turns out this challenge actually was organised by his family. This guy is generally regarded as the world's best fighter ever. They didn't want to put him in because he was too big. So they said, if we put him in, people will think it's because he's big. So this guy is Ilio Gracie. And we were all just kind of stunned. We didn't really know what to make out of it all. There's an old guy on stage, there's all these dudes. We don't really know where Brazil is at this stage. We're just kind of like, that's not in Asia, right? So how come they've got a martial art? We don't really get it. So we looked into it and we found out, good moustache, Ilio Gracie had been doing a 70-year experiment. In the 1920s, he put an ad in the paper saying, anyone welcome, come to the gym, let's go. And you might think that's a macho thing, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people's perception of the martial arts is, but it's not. It's a test to try and see if I can learn something new, because if I don't fail, I don't learn. And he'd been doing that for a long, long time. So it kind of got the world thinking. And since then, I think the world has changed quite a lot since. Just let that sink in. It took a while for people to get their heads around it, and people's minds and other things were completely blown. So, that's the wake-up slide. So what were they doing? What were they thinking? Let's have a look. They were doing basically data-driven design. So while the rest of the world was saying, I'm going to be a boxer, I'm going to be a kickboxer, I'm going to do all these things, and traditional jiu-jitsu from the Japanese jiu-jitsu that was taught to Ilio's grandfather was stand-up jiu-jitsu. But what they discovered in Brazil, no offense to Brazilians, better come over and say sorry. Brazil at the time, not necessarily a super safe place, so a good opportunity to get in lots of fights and see lots of fights. And what it turns out is that most fights end on the ground. Whether you like it or not, that's where they go. So where should I focus my time? Should I focus standing up or should I focus standing down? And actually what they said, well, what if we actually just don't focus on standing up, we just focus on getting you down, and then you don't know anything. So, and this is Renzo Gracie's quote. There's a lot like that, but a boxer is like a lion, the greatest predator on land, but you throw him in the shark tank and he's just another meal. So reframing, different point of view, everything changes. Sounds a lot like design thinking, doesn't it? Change the game to your advantage. All the juniors in the room should be thinking about that, because you're the fresh resource that we don't have enough of now. So if you want to work in places in different ways, this one's for you. Make that happen. So that's what we sort of thought they were thinking. When I started training, and look, I started training jiu-jitsu about 8 years ago, or maybe 9 now, but I'd already been training for 12, 13 years, so I kind of knew my way around different martial arts, so I knew how to look at things, and as a designer I knew how to do research. So this is what we saw. It was more important for people to learn rather than win. So it wasn't about I've got the better of you. I might find out that by doing this I fail, and therefore next time I'm not going to do that. But I'm also going to just try weird stuff. So I might invent something by doing that. I never stop learning unless my ego lets me. So in this period, traditional martial arts, I'm the black belt. No one challenges me. I'm pretty much like the Pope. Whereas in Brazil, you're a black belt, you're just on the mat, you're rolling, which is like wrestling with everyone else. And you keep on learning and you keep on evolving. And that goes to, I never ask people to accept my knowledge without proof. I'll talk about this one in a little bit more detail as it applies to our teams, because that one's quite important, but that's what Ilio's doing. He's not saying, I've got the world's best martial art, come and pay me money. He's saying, if you don't think it's true, come along, we'll sort it out, that's fine. And I improve by taking risks, making mistakes, and this is where the challenge is going to come later for you guys, and teaching others. Okay, that's really important. So I have to have a culture that lets me take risks, rewards risks. I've got to have a culture that supports making mistakes. And the most important thing is I get to teach people and people get to teach me. And that collaboration is super important. And to sharpen my skill, I must be willing to test myself truly, and for that I need good partners who will challenge me and who I trust. So that's about the culture of your team. You know, are you going to go into a design critique and just get hammered, or are you willing to just have a go because you know you'll get a good critique, you'll have a few laughs, and actually it's fine, it's not anything that I have to worry about? Or are you afraid to go into critique? Or are there no critiques, so you don't even get feedback, you don't even have any partners, so how are you going to get any better at anything if you don't actually have someone to play with? And what were they doing? So what were they doing? They were really focusing on changing the way that we learn things. And that was probably the thing that I identified as the most important. It's not just what you do, but ways of learning. And that's something that hadn't been revolutionized in the martial arts for a long time. Stand up the front, do this, hit the bag, do some sparring. But but this had actually changed the whole structure to support learning, teaching differently. So my pet love is experimentation. That's exactly what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is. Every day you get to test yourself, and you get to test the technique that you learnt, and then you get to test and test and test and test. So there's pretty much no escape from testing. It's not Thursday is sparring day. It's I just taught you this. I'm going to put you in the position where that can happen. It's not like I'm going to teach you how to run a discovery workshop. Thank you for your induction into the team. There's not a discovery workshop for 4 weeks, so you got to remember all that. That's going to be difficult. It's going to happen straight away. Pressure testing means I tell you something, you get to test it under pressure to see if it works for you, what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. And maybe it doesn't work for you. Maybe you've got short legs, maybe you've got long legs, maybe you've got one arm. You know, we've got people that wrestle with no limbs. Well, how does it work for you? And this one is important. So problem solving under different pressure conditions. So we've got user testing, right? Well, we've got release. That's our most, that's the street. We release to the public. Hopefully we've got user testing. Who user tests less than once a month? Okay, pretty confused about my less than, more than there, so just be honest. We test every 2 weeks. Anyone test more frequently than that? Yep. Yep, great. Anyone test once a month? Anyone test once every 2 months? So I'm starting to feel like, you know, you might be the Karate Kid at this stage, right? If you don't get that sort of feedback, then it's going to be difficult to improve your game. So we test at different levels. We test every day with our team members. Hard critique every day. That's the soft one. Then we test user testing. Then we might go into experimentation, and then we go full release. Similar thing in Jiu-Jitsu. I have a simple positional drill. I might then have a rolling drill where anything goes. I can go as hard or soft as I like. Then there's competition, where I'm actually, you know, fighting people I don't know for a prize. And then there's I'm actually in a fight, right, where you really want things to work. They were collaborating, and they're continually improving not just themselves but the art as a whole. And experimentation is part of the whole process. So no real magic techniques, just a simple philosophy, and this is really it. Learning is the most important thing we do. We can't do that by winning, we do it by losing, by teaching and trying things that make no sense. If you don't just do something stupid every now and then, you might miss a whole bunch of really good answers. If you just lock doors that you think, well, you know, there's nothing in there, sometimes you just got to go nuts. We don't rest on achievements. We are not black belts. We're teachers, students. Every day is a new opportunity to test ourselves. A black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not a god. It's just a person, and they will roll with you or anyone else, and they lose, right? They have to, because there's other black belts. There's other people. You're going to lose. So ego isn't a part of it. Losing's what's going to happen, and you're happy about it because you learned something, right? So let's put a different hat on now. If we're going to look at this as a design team, using data as a tool is something that's crucial for us. So data-driven design, it's you know, that's a bit buzzwordy, but I think in big organisations it has to be that way now. Reframing, juniors, create the workplace you want. I didn't come into this role with a structure in mind. I didn't come into this role with a mandate. I didn't come into this role with a set of goals, but I saw some gaps and just did stuff. Whether that's the right or the wrong approach, that's up for grabs, but just taking the lead, taking initiative and giving things a try, and if they fail, No, I've said a lot of times this week, no one died. So, so that's a good thing to do. Just have a go. Nothing bad can really happen. So you get fired, right? Look, there's not enough of you, so you'll be all right. As designers, I'd rather learn than win. So this is something that we see in designers all the time. They go to user testing. Why do you go into user testing? See if my design's right. No, you're not. You're not going to see if it's right. You're going to test your assumption that it would break in these spots. Right? You're testing because you think it will fail, because you've already had the mindset to look, where's the gap? I understand where the gap might be. Sure, I might get blindsided, and that's also good fun. That's there's some awesome experiences when that happens. We've had some crackers. But that's more important to us as a team, is learning, not saying, hey, look, see how I did that? That's right. Why that's important is I tell my guys and girls, the first thing you put into user testing, I pretty much want that to fail. I pretty much want you to have gone so far out, so few affordances, just that anyone textbook UX people would just slap you in the head and go, just go back to school. But I want you to go out there to try and find the limit of what might break. But if you hold back, you're never really going to find what that limit is. So do that. Never stop learning unless my ego stops me. My seniors, my leads, some of them over 12 years experience, I said to them, you can't say that anymore. You can't have what I call the UX stick. It's not a thing. You have to be right every time, in every moment, with data, with proof. So I don't care how much experience you have, because, you know, we've all been wrong at different points in our life, and people change all around you, so it's not good enough. One of the reasons, and this is obviously contentious, one of the reasons we got a very junior team is because a lot of the stuff that we were pushing of ways of working, we knew that there'd be a lot of reaction from more senior people to say, yeah, I know how to do this, I want to work this way, I've already done it, I've got the answers. Or you don't. So I don't, so good luck if you do, but I feel like just being open to change is what we need. That goes to never accept my knowledge without proof. And teaching others is probably the most important thing. And if you notice, these are exactly almost word for word from Jiu-Jitsu. My team has a buddy system. Everyone's buddied up. The start of the year, they define what they want to learn, and they just make that happen. So it's got nothing to do with CBA's agenda or anything. Just say, what do you want to learn? I want to learn Xcode. Okay, we'll get a developer to come in. And I didn't do anything. They did it. They just got a developer to come in and teach them Xcode. I just said, what do you want to learn? So creating the culture where they think, yeah, I want to learn stuff and I can do it. How can I do it? I just ask if I can do it. And you don't ask me. You're going to ask the person to teach you. So take control, make learning your responsibility, and teach each other. And to sharpen my skills, I must be willing to test myself truly. This is more about your partners again. What's a bad partner? A partner that you present to and gives you no feedback. That's like me wrestling with you and you're just floppy. I'm like, okay, I won, kinda, I guess, did I? I mean, you didn't do anything, so I don't know if I actually won, or you're a weirdo, or what's going on here. Maybe I'm a weirdo, it's probably also in there. So good training partners are crucial, because good training partners will let you try something. They get tapped out, you win, but you get to try something. And you have that back and forth, and they'll go, hey, you know, when you tried that, you almost got me, but you didn't do this. Next time do that and you'll get me. And that's what a good partner is. And we promote that quite heavily in our team. We don't want anyone sitting back in reviews just, I don't want to say anything mean about anyone, because you're actually not helping anyone by being floppy. So what are we doing? We focus on improving learning. That's the number one thing we do. Good products are a byproduct of that. If we create a culture where people get to learn, people get to be better all the time, that's good fun, right? Well, I assume it's good fun. Can be a little bit stressful for people, I will admit. we focus on experimentation, we focus on pressure testing, as I said, daily. So it's not every sprint, it's not every month, it's not close to release. Everyone's designs are challenged daily, and you get that feedback and you get sharper, and that's how the juniors have been able to go through the roof. We promoted 2 within a year. That sort of pressure, that'll get good results. And we keep on going and we keep on getting better. So my team philosophy is only slightly different to my jiu-jitsu philosophy, which is learning is the most important thing we do. We can't do that by succeeding, we do it by failing, finding our limits, by teaching and trying things that make no sense. We don't rest on achievements. We are not managers, leads or seniors. We are people open to challenges and new opportunities to test ourselves. So you might know loads of stuff, but maybe you don't as well. And it'd be really boring to know everything, right? It's like that joke, you can't have everything. Where would you put it? So your challenge. I'd like everyone, I'm making this up as we go, everyone who's got more than 5 years UX experience to stand up. I'll take time because, seems like apparently if you've got more than 5 years experience, you've got to make noises as you stand up and things like that. So okay, great. Keep standing if you've got more than 5 people that you mentor. Okay. Now switch. If you're standing now, sit down, and the other people stand back up again. Yeah, make a noise. Give you time to make the grumbly noise. Okay. So to this point of us not having enough mentors, it's on you guys, right? It's on you guys right now. So stay standing. If you're a junior and you want a mentor, eyeball these folks and go up right now and say, will you be my mentor? I told you it's a challenge. I wasn't making it up. It's a challenge. Who wants a mentor? I'll put my hand up as well. One free for me. If you don't do it, you've got to take advantage. Yeah, we got one. Okay, nice. Another one. Anyone else? Got a few? Okay, keep going. If you've got one, you can sit down. Okay. All right, come on. We got about 4 over here. Any other juniors need a mentor? Okay. There's about 4 over here. There's one hiding, not really hiding behind the column, but seems to be a big, hey. It's a big bunch of people. Anyone want one over here? All right. Do you want one?
Sure.
Yeah. Right? Because that's the next challenge, right? If you're a senior, who's your mentor? Who's your master? Who are you learning from? Or are you done? Right? So it's not just juniors that need a teacher. You need a teacher as well. So my challenge to all of you is find someone to teach and find someone to learn from. Sometimes it's the same person, but you've got to have that happen. And test yourself every day. Put yourself in a bad position every day. The way we do it, which is, Nate can attest, is quite tough. It's tears before bedtime when we didn't really have it ironed out. Is when you present, it's ritual of dissent, then that's it. You can't argue back. You just listen. Right? No, yeah, but it's just you listen. And you get good at listening and processing. What about Bruce Lee? We forgot about him. I feel like I'm going to run out of time, so that's going to be episode 2. But I'll leave you with a few of Bruce Lee's quotes, which you can see where we're going with this. It's constant learning, right? Life's your teacher and constant learning. The thing that I'll talk about next time I write something, is what Bruce Lee did was say, I'm going to learn from everywhere. So what can I learn from chefs? What can I learn from industrial designers? What can I learn from martial arts? What can I learn from painters? Why are we stuck in this silo? Okay, so let's open up to looking at life as a way to teach us. I've looked at jiu-jitsu to help shape the way that I run a team, for better or worse, for the people in it. I think, they've done really well. And then kind of don't listen to me. Right, so this is one of his most famous quotes, which is, take everything in, make it your own, and get rid of, Henry said you're not allowed to talk. I want to talk. I can talk. You don't have to do exactly what I say. And this is the same point as well. So, find what's going to be you in this. You don't have to do this the same way. I really hope that you don't. But I do hope that you juniors make this happen in the teams that you're in. But be yourself, express yourself, don't be quiet. Making trouble for some people, I'm sure. Don't be quiet, have faith in yourself. Don't try and be Andy, me, Katja. Terrible role models. Sorry, Andy. Work out how you're going to kick ass and how you're going to be the next person up here and how you're going to blow people's minds. And if you've already had a lifetime of blowing people's minds, Susan, work out how you're going to do it again in a way that no one ever expected. And this again is for the juniors in the room who think that's not going to happen, dude. We can't change things from the bottom. We're just minions. You can read this yourselves, but don't doubt yourselves. Just go and do it. I didn't ask for permission, as Larissa can attest. Larissa was very nice to give me the leeway, but taking that, creating your own seat at the table, doing what you want and just leading, that leadership in itself will drive results and people will follow you. So thank you very much. No questions now.
I do remember back when we had a smaller room, I had lots of questions as soon as the presentation was over. But as soon as we get this massive room, it gets really quiet.
Yeah.
So,
there's one.
There we go. I want to see more hands than I can deal with.
Or else.
Hi.
Hey.
So you talked a lot about failure.
Yes.
And
do you want to know mine? Yeah.
Which we all love. And I wonder
Yes.
how that kind of goes down at CBA.
Well, it depends. It goes down really well, I think. It depends on if you had a noble intent, right? Like, I'm trying to do this because, as I said, I'm trying to work out the bounds of what I can do. I'm not trying to do... I think there's enough maturity in this room that there's a strong sense of what we could just do to just be enough, and it would work, and that's fine, and I move on, and I'm not so stressed. And if you fail to come into work for 4 days because you're on a bender, well, that's probably not a good one. It might have been for you, but it's probably not a good one for us. But if you fail in user testing, we had one project where we failed 5 sprints in a row. It actually turned out it was far more complicated than we thought. And that was good because we didn't build it and we didn't, spend a whole bunch of money building something by underestimating the complexity of the thing. If it's anyone in my team and they fail, it's great because we learned something. What else are we going to learn? What's next? So it absolutely has to be that, or otherwise, everything I just said is, it's kind of rubbish, right? You've got to have a place where it's about learning, and you don't learn when you win. You learn when you lose. So I think it's well supported. If it's like, you went, $5 million of a budget, that's a fairly strong fail, I would say. That's a different sort of fail, but as a designer. Does that answer your question? Yeah, okay, cool.
Any more? Yep, there we go.
Oh. Come up close and personal.
Now we're going to...
Hi Henry, thanks for that. My name's Sarah and I'm looking to get into UX design and I was just wondering, will you be my mentor?
Sure. Yeah. Good stuff.
So what's your first question?
Yeah. No, happy to. That's what you got to do, right? Like if you want something.
Be on the other side.
Thanks for that. I was just wondering, how do you capture all these learnings and then extend that knowledge onto new staff members?
That's an interesting question. So, as we've grown at quite a rapid pace, by I guess enterprise standards, we grew from mobile, well, from UXD from 5 to 9 to I think 83 over 3 years, and mobile is probably, I think there was about 3 of us, and now almost 20 in 2 years. You do have to do, much like a startup, there's a spot where you go, okay, we're actually at scale now, what are we going to do? We need to stop being cowboys, don't know if you said that, and start putting some processes in place. So we've got things like, finally, pattern libraries, design systems from that end. But we've also got a mobile playbook that talks a lot about, what our philosophy is, what are the principles of animation that we're looking at, bringing in Disney stuff, looking at other people's work in that space, looking at experimentation and creating those things that people can take on board. We actually did our first onboarding where we had someone that had an actual pack, which was just like super thrilling for us because that's how boring my life is. But they had a centimetre thick pack with where to go and get noodles, and here's pictures of them because of course you've got to take photos of food. So yeah, we try and create those things now, and that's part of our growth, I guess. Does that answer your question? Ish? No? You want more? More?
I do have one other question.
Yeah, go.
I don't have a mic, but
I can hear you.
What's your key takeout or learning from doing the presentation tonight?
I still am really shit at planning because I was up till about 3 o'clock last night, and then about 5 minutes to coming here I was still with Larissa trying to work out what my big point was. So yeah, I should get on that. Yeah.
You're still learning.
I'm still learning, yeah, and failing, yeah. Sometimes you need something more catastrophic, right? Like if I had fallen straight on my face and everyone was like, "Boo, it's rubbish," I should have prepared that better. But you can get away with stuff, I guess, when you shouldn't.
Yeah, there's always something to be said for not having it completely finished.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Oh.
Thanks, mate.
Lead on. Hey,
This might be a
up and
whole lot of
personal.
talk, but what have you learned about earning or buying the freedom and space for you and your team to do this inside a large corporate?
Look, I would really, as I always do, say can't thank Larissa enough. Larissa really is the one that gave me that space, kept people away. I would just pretty much say I owe it all to her. I don't think I did. Yeah, come on. So I think she did most of it, and then I just ran amok, and then, but with purpose, I guess. So we experimented, we failed, we got better, we kept on going, but we delivered results, and because we had that space to deliver results faster, cheaper, arguably better, then you get some ownership. And I think just the fact that you've got a plan, even if, people think you have in your head, you're like, hey, let's just try this thing, this would be cool. Like Henry's got his game on. It's like, not really, but I'm willing to give it a shot. But I think just having that, take the initiative, go out there and do it, people kind of, in a strange way, respect that. In wrestling we call it just going first, right? Like, just go first. That changes the game. Just purely you starting the interaction. And that's kind of what we did. We just went first. We said we're doing this. Agile coaches said this. We're saying no, we reckon this. And we're doing it. And we've already done it. And we're 4 weeks into doing it. And can you keep up with us? Okay, if you can't, well, we're going. So, I think that's kind of the approach. So it probably wasn't as formal as you might have expected in terms of carving out a space. It was, although I do have feedback that people say, you much as I think Larissa has carved it out for me, then I do the same for my guys and carve the space out for them to work out how they want to do the best work that they can. Try and help them, obviously, but I'm getting better at now letting them work out those ways. So, less fascist.
That's it for questions. Thank you, Henry.
Cheers.